Hi everyone, it's Anne from Curious Moon Design. Today I'm going to do a short video and show you how I made this little file envelope, which I've just popped a tag in. I made it from one of these junk mail envelopes, so please join me and I'll show you how I made it. Okay, well, this was a top opening envelope, a junk mail envelope. I'm going to try and use a side opening, and I'll start by making it about the same size, because it's quite a nice size to have. You can pop this inside your journals. I'm going to put it inside the travel journal we made a while back. So I think this, if I fold this bit over, it's going to be about the right size. Now I just want to make a couple of changes with this envelope. I want to put a name plate on the outside, so I'll need to do that before I close everything up, because I'll be closing this side of the envelope and then opening up the top. I think it will be easier to put the nameplate, or make the holes for it anyway, before I do that. So I'll just make sure I've made that about the same size. And I'll just peel that bit back. These envelopes are not terribly well stuck, and if you do make a little hole in them, it's going to be covered anyway. And what I'm going to use for covering is, I've got this sort of free road map that you can get in various places, or if you've got an old road map. And this is quite a nice size for this envelope. So what I'm going to do is cut out the pieces that I need, and I'll show you how I'm going to stick them down. I'll go away and cut all these pieces out, and the other thing I'm going to do with them is just slightly brown them with a sponge, because this is a little bit white for me. You could have it like that, that's fine, but I'd like it to look a bit more vintage. So I'm going to tear the maps I want out and darken them a little bit, and then I'll come back. Okay, well, I've cut the pieces out and put some ink over them, just smoothed it round, and what I did for the top, I just drew around this top so that I could have a nice finish there. Now this had a window in it, but I didn't put this on, but it was already on there. Someone trying to use it as a proper envelope, I suppose, but you could leave a window in there. That could be the next project. So this one, and then I've marked the 2 holes I put for the nameplate that I want on there. So this one is going to go up to the top, and I'm going to glue it around. I'm going to cut the bottom off, so I don't want it too bulky. I could glue that bit as well, but I don't want it too bulky, so I'm just going to cut it neatly at the bottom there. And then this bit is cut so that when these sides have gone around, this will glue on here. And then I'm going to tuck that bit inside so that there's a little bit in the opening. So I've got to do that. I'm going to do this one first, and then I can, as it's not sealed yet, I can mark the holes again with my little pointy screwdriver. So I'll do that, and then I'm going to make it slightly different to this one. I'm going to have a little pocket on the front, which I've cut down another envelope, and it was again a small envelope, so I had to adapt it. And how I got the top was I just bent that over and cut round so that it was because it was an envelope about this size. So what I intend to do is, on this one, is put a pocket on the outside for some more useful tags and things. But with the, I thought of covering it. I cut out some more map paper, thought of covering it, but I think what I'm going to try and do is make it look like leather, which is what I did with this one, if you remember from a previous video. So it was cardboard, and I just rubbed in some shoe polish, and it gave it that leather look. And then I stitched down different seams. So I'm going to try that. I got the idea for the wallet from Dawn Meadows at the Book Bundle. I'm going to try that with this. I'm going to put some shoe polish. I'm going to do it outside because it's a bit smelly. And rub it in and get a leather look. Then I'm going to stitch around here and around here, just so that it looks like that has that effect. Or I'm going to try anyway. And we'll see what that looks like. If I don't like it, I won't stick it on the front, but we'll see what it looks like. So I'm going to stick this down, put the nameplate on, and stick this on the front, and then I'll come back, and I'll probably go and do this shoe polish outside and then come back. I just thought I'd show you this. So I've stuck this down on the front, and then I put the nameplate on, and I've popped some masking tape over the pins so that it doesn't catch when you're putting a tag in. Okay, so yes, I've just got to seal this up because I've used a wide envelope but if you use a top envelope you wouldn't have to do all this, which is what I did with the first one. But it's nice to use up and adapt. It's quite nice to be crafty and inventive about it, isn't it? So I'm just going to, this hasn't been used, so it's, the gum is there, so I could water that and then stick that down, which I might do. And then I'll glue this down here. Once all that's glued, then this bit is going to go on. And I've just noticed it's quite nice because I've got Oxfordshire on here, Oxford there, which is where I'm from. That's quite nice. Okay, well I'll get on and do those and then I'll come back. Do you ever find that projects run away with you? I go to do one thing and then I'm adding lots more to the project, so it's taking longer and longer. But anyway, here we are. I've put the polish on here. Unlike when you put it on cardboard, it's quite thick and dense, so it doesn't absorb it so much, but on paper it gets a little bit translucent, but that's okay. And I've stitched with white cotton along the edge here and around the flap, just to give it a bit more of a leather look. And then I stitched around the flap for this side as well, and I put the polish on. I've got the name plate on and I've just put notes in there. So this I'm going to stick on here, but I was looking at decorating it before I stuck it on, and then I thought it would be quite nice to have something in the pocket, so I've cut these little images out of a book and inked up around the edge of them and then placed them on white yellowing paper, my liner paper I use, and onto a cardboard, and then I just added a little label on the back, so they look rather nice photographic images. So those I was going to put in the pocket here, but as they fell down I saw that that looked rather nice on the outside, so I am considering putting that on the outside. And then I used my little letters from Hobbycraft and made a little plate, name plate there, so I'm going to pop that on there. And then I found a button, so I'm probably going to have that on there. Also just stitch that on. And I had thought of having just the label on there, but I think having the photograph on just adds a little bit more to it. So that's what I've got to do to that side. Then on this side, I'm just going to, I didn't know whether to put a button on for the closure, so I haven't thought about that yet. I've got this button which has got, it's a wooden button, and it's got the Statue of Liberty on, which is quite nice for the travel. So I might stitch that one on there. I quite like the colour with that. And put an eyelet in. I did make some, but I think for this project. I'm actually going to put real buttons on. And then I thought about what to put inside. On this one I have the tag that goes in, but I thought, as I've got notes on there, I'd like to put a little booklet in. So this is how it's developing. I did have this one already that I made up some time ago, but it's a bit long, so, and I'd like it just a little bit wider. So that's how the project is developing. So I've cut this piece of card out. It's from a cereal box, and I'm going to cover it with one of our background papers, and then on the other side I'll line it with another background paper. When I'll fold this one on each side, and then I'll be able to cover those folds with this. And then I think I'll have that for sketches. That would be quite nice, because that's something you'd have for your travels, isn't it? So somewhere to write a few notes, but also to make some sketches. And then it's quite nice to have somewhere to put your photographs. Okay, so you make one thing and then it develops into a bigger project. That's what I love about crafting. You sit and fiddle about and you come up with all sorts of things. So I'm going to do those bits now, put the button on, stick these bits on, and decide what to do with this flap, and make the little booklet, and then I'll come back when it's all finished and just show you how it's turned out. Right, well, here we are. Got two very different map envelopes, and this one's all finished now. Got my button on there, a photograph, and then got a little pouch here which I've got another photograph in. There we are. And then on this side, and here we've got a little sketchbook, all nicely finished. And I put a pocket there as well, just for some extra bits of paper and a little bit more of the map. And then we've got tea-dyed papers in here and extra papers to sketch on and write on. And I put some botany pictures in there as well for some inspiration for sketching. And that fits snugly in there. So, I'm very pleased with those. So I'm going to make some more. Why stop at 2? So I hope you enjoyed watching me make that. And I'll put some pictures of the other ones I make on our Instagram page. Join us again next time for another make. Please press the subscribe button and you'll get notifications of when we put a video up. Bye for now.